Hello again, everybody. My name is John D. Healy. I do a podcast. It's called It's Good to Talk, and sure is good to talk. I'm back with you again. This time I'll be reflecting on some episodes I already did, and I'll be making some projections of issues coming up. People know me because of this book I produced, my friend Stoney McGurn. The book is called And That's How It All Started. Stoney was born in 1941, and it's all his stories from 1941 up until a few years ago. Real true story. It's well worth reading. You can get it on Amazon, and it's also on audio if you have difficulty reading print. Liffey Van Line's a moving company here in New York City, and they've been around longer than the New York City Marathon. They're running very smoothly, and when it comes to lifting, let Liffey do the lifting. Lots of experience there. I also give a shout out to the Irish Examiner USA, very great newspaper here in New York City, very good for the arts, entertainment, and sports, and indeed some political stuff, especially now that we have elections in the UK, which cross over to Northern Ireland. So you'll get all that in the Irish Examiner USA, and indeed the Irish Examiner is promoting my art show this week. So I'm going to start by talking about the art show I have running at 270 Ryder Avenue. So what's going on? Well, a lot of art is up and being exhibited, and I'll explain some of it to you. A lot of it was donated by a good friend of mine, Nancy Purnell. Nancy passed away in 2018. She worked up until 2 days before she passed away. Just hundreds of pieces of art, and her family kindly donated it to me to sell it on and raise some money for the Ronald McDonald Cancer Project here in Manhattan. So I'm delighted to be able to do that on behalf of the Purnell family. You're welcome to come. It's at 270 Ryder Avenue. If you get to the number 6 train, 238th Street, you walk 2 blocks and you'll get me. I'll put up more information, and my email jhfornews@yahoo.com. Other artists I have there is Carla Mila. She does beautifully hand-painted cards. I think I have one right here. Yes, I do. She does stuff like this, all hand-painted, and they are beautiful, cheaper than Hallmark. They're blank on the inside, so it's good for a birthday, any occasion, marriage or anniversary, whatever. I absolutely love them. I'm going to put up more of her art here just so you see, to get a sense of her art as well. Carla lives on the Upper East Side. She's been attending my art shows for the last 10, 12 years. We've been running art shows over 10 or 12 years, before the pandemic and after the pandemic and during the pandemic. So we did run a lot outside and inside. We were upstairs in Ryan's Daughter for a number of months and years. We did some at Finnegan's Wake outside, of course, during the pandemic. And we did some at the Five Lamps outside as well at the same time during the pandemic. So another person I have there is Kathy Weingard. She has one painting there. One is good. It's a beautiful painting of a wheelbarrow in a garden. It looks very unique and it gets a lot of attention. All of Nancy's art is discounted by 80%. So, for example, items that would be in the hundreds and hundreds are down to less than $100. And in line with that, Carla has reduced a lot of her art down to coincide with my fundraising effort for Ronald McDonald to $90, which is really for nothing. Some stuff is framed already, and it all looks good. We have activities there for young people and old people as well. We put up a dartboard, a ring board, and a great golf invention that I invented. It actually improves your putting. I'll leave that a little secret when you get there, but you can practice. We have lots of prizes to be won for the challenges. There's a puzzle, a wooden puzzle made in County Kerry in Ireland. You got to put all the pieces together, join all the counties up, and if you can make a united Ireland in 5 minutes, you will win a prize. Some of the prizes are $50 vouchers, and other prizes are pieces of art and vouchers for dinner. So well worth having a look at it. It's on until the end of June and maybe beyond into July. As a matter of fact, Irish Examiner USA had the full page ad there promoting the art show. The sponsors, let me see who are my sponsors. That's terrible, I have to check out. LTB Mechanical is a sponsor. Big Apple Mini Storage, of course. The Elite Healers Massage Therapy Group are on Park Avenue. So you might win a free massage on Park Avenue. How bad is that? And who else we got? The United Print Group is a print and brand company, and they do designs like this mug, which they printed for me. It's branding my podcast, It's Good to Talk. They do print on anything, playing cards. I'm going to play a game of 25. and we have card game challenges there too. So they're just some of the things that United, and they have a free table there, and they have lots of free giveaways. They also helped me design this pen. You'll see it has 3 sides designed for hygiene, so it doesn't roll off the counter, doesn't roll off the table. A bit like a carpenter's pencil. So Tom Sanchez is there every weekend, including myself, Carla, Kathy, and a bunch of people. Jimmy Grady, as you know, he attended a few weeks back and he sang a song there. And he will be there again to perform again. Now, while I'm on the topic of Jimmy Grady, Jimmy and myself are setting up a little business company, and that company is going to be dealing with eulogies. So if you know anybody that has lost a loved one, it may not be your problem today, but someday it will be your problem, of course. What we do is Jimmy will sing a few songs at the eulogy, and I will do the talking. So I will talk, Jimmy will sing. His mother is his agent, and she has set up the deal that Jimmy gets 60% and I get 40%. I'm actually a reasonable guy. I think that's fair enough because I cannot sing. So I need Jimmy and Jimmy needs me. So Jimmy will sing, I will talk. Now, if you have a preference in the eulogy, of course I will say great things about the deceased. Why not? When someone dies, they're always great people. But if you or whoever is close to the deceased would like me to read something from the Bible, the Old Testament or the New Testament, I'm very good with the Bible, okay? If you like, for example, you might like me to read something for, say, St. Paul's letters to the Corinthians. That's straightforward, easy. I can do that. Or if maybe some prayers, whatever as well. I will not say Mass. That's a different gig. If you want me to say Mass, the fees go up. Jimmy will still get 60%. I'll get 40%. Jimmy can sing again during the Holy Communion. So if you know anybody, may not be your problem today, or if you're somebody yourself who's thinking about this, you can leave us in your estate, your will, and we'll accept that. And Venmo, of course, is always good. So that's Jimmy Grady and myself, eulogies for the future, okay? And God bless everybody. So now I'm going to move on to some of the recent podcasts that I did on this It's Good to Talk. The last one I done was Brian Layden from Sligo. He's a historian and a writer and a journalist. We did cover the elections coming up in Ireland and in Europe, and we covered it well, and I will not go over that again. You should go back and totally listen to that podcast in full detail. But as I say, I won't go back over it because you have to go back over it and listen to it. If you have questions, Brian Layden will be on here again in the near future for us to analyse the results of the European elections and how they transgressed into Irish politics. Because the UK is out, therefore Northern Ireland is out. Sinn Féin, I hope, will be running well, but the votes are not counted yet. So when the votes are all counted and everything is tallied up, Brian Layden and myself will be back to do the analysis. And on that note, I'm going to call on Jimmy. Jimmy, get ready. A few of the songs Jimmy will have, by the way, for the eulogy. People like the Parting Glass, beautiful song. Caledonia is so popular. And Past the Point to Rescue, I know, appropriate. Jimmy, I think the one Past the Point to Rescue. So I'm going to let Jimmy sing, and I'll come back to you with more updates on what's happening and what did happen. Let Jimmy sing.
Last night I dreamed you were back again, larger than life again, holding me tight again, placing those same kisses on my brow, sweeter than ever now. Lord, I remember how, couldn't get enough of kissing. Do you know how much you're missing? No, you don't, but I do. The days like a slow train trickle by, and even the words that I write refuse to fly. All I can hear is your song haunting me. Can't get the melody out of my head, you see. Distractions are amusing. Do you know how much you're losing? No, you don't, but I do. but I do. And I wonder if I'm past the point of rescue. Is no word from you at all the best that you can do? Never meant to push or shove you. Do you know how much I love you? No, you don't, but I do. I swore I'd never fall like this again. Fools like me never win. Came to my knees again. Can't close the door on a likelihood. Things might be just as good. I always believed they would. Gotta let your love invite me. Baby, do you think it might be? No, you don't, but I do. I know you don't, but I do. I know you don't, but I do.
Okay, thank you, Jimmy. Well done. Look forward to doing business with you. So, some other events are coming up this month. It's June, it's Gay Pride Month. A lot of activities going on in the world of gay pride all over USA and I think the world too. So, check that out. Gay and Sober is a podcast I did on here with Kristen Parker. You can look up that podcast too. Very interesting how Gay and Sober set up. It's Gay and Sober is like an organization worldwide too. It's a bit like AA, Alcoholics Anonymous, for gay, lesbian, bisexual, whatever else, people that give up the drink and want to live a life of still being gay but sober. And it's very successful worldwide, as I say. And on that note, IBO has an Irish drag queen visiting here in New York, performing in the Irish Art Centre, the IBO Irish Business Organisation, IBO.org. So you should check that out. And the name of the artist is Panty. Panty is an Irish drag queen, famous, actually has a honorary degree from Trinity College, and that's pretty unique in itself. Panty's real name is Rory O'Neill, and let me see what year was Rory born. 1968. 16th of November 1968. So, known as the Queen of Dublin, Queen of Ireland, I guess. So 1968, all I can say to Panty is, you could live to be an old queen, you know? There's nothing like an old queen. Old queens are good, like the Queen of England. Good luck to Panty. I'm sure the Irish Examiner USA will be doing some write-ups on that. And that's coming up soon. Check it out in the Irish Examiner USA as well. For Panty, forming in the Irish Arts Centre. And Irish IBO.org has more information on that. So that's on that one. Some other recent podcasts that people ask me about is Nick Hubbard was the famous golf caddy we had on, and he talked about being a caddy for Rory McIlroy, and he spoke about other famous golfers and the things to do and the things not to do when you're a golf caddy. That's well worth looking. Walter Brewer was on. He's an IT recruiter, and he gave a lot of insight into interviewing, how to interview, and how to prepare for an interview, more important. And that's very important. Actually, my sponsors for the art show, LTB Mechanical, are hiring at the moment, and they're looking for qualified engineers, heating and ventilation engineers. So that's on the podcasting. I want to come back to more on the elections. Recently, there was a huge election I mentioned the European elections, but there was another huge sort of elections. Another huge election just recently took place in Mexico. And let me get her name correctly for you. Claudia Sheinbaum is 61 years old, and she took over from a previous guy, and kind of in the same vein, and making great progress, doubling the wage levels for people and making strides. The thing about Claudia that I like is she is a qualified engineer of energy. She doesn't have a BA. She doesn't have a PhD. She actually has a doctorate. So she pretty knows her stuff when it comes to engineering, energy, and everything to do in that world of, I guess, climate and climate change. She was on the panel in the United Nations on the same topic a few years back. She's well qualified, and congratulations to see another woman making it to the top of the political world in terms of politics. So that's well worth looking at. India has elections going on. They're still in the shuffle of counting and the tally, as we call it in Ireland, to see how that outcome looks pretty positive as well. Now, because it's the month of June, I do want to do a little astrology for you again today. Astrology, yes. So if you are born in this month of June, you are Geminis. So what do we tell you about Geminis? Well, they are very outgoing. They're very good with people. They're like social butterflies. They can be flirtatious in a good way. There's not a bad way to be flirtatious, is there? I mean, could you imagine me being a drag queen? I would have to get a wig. I'd have to stuff a bra. I definitely wouldn't get rid of the three-piece suite. As the Liffey Mover says, you want to get rid of the three-piece suite and put in a corner unit? No, no, no. But I'm not going to be a drag queen for you today. Geminis. Who are famous Geminis? Well, Friends the singer was born on the 7th of June. Extremely talented, extremely creative. Wrote some songs. Like one song you probably will know is Nothing Compares to You. Well, I say Nothing Compares to Prince. Died very young, unfortunately. Other people you might know would be Marilyn Monroe was a Gemini. The JFK was a Gemini. Let me take a quick look here. Johnny Depp, Naomi Campbell, and Paul McCartney. But today, you may know, or you may not know, but you should know, that 2 Gemini birthdays this month are coming up. And you should buy cards from Carla at my art show, but you can send a birthday card. Donald Trump is a Gemini, born on the 14th of June, okay? So he'll be pushing up there. I guess he's going to be 70 years old. Let me see. Shit, he's 78. My God, he's getting old. Well, we're all getting old. Now, Rudy Giuliani is also a Gemini. So that's 2 Geminis. As a matter of fact, you could send one birthday card to Donald Trump and put a few dollars in for Rudy Giuliani as well. Just send it to Trump Towers. Or if you don't feel like doing that, I have a Venmo account. You can send it to me and I'll write the check. So there are some of the events coming up that I told you about, and there are some of the birthdays coming up that I told you about. It's good to talk. If you like my podcast, subscribe. There's over 130, 140 podcasts out there. You definitely will find something to look at and all that. So a quick shout out to my friend, my colleague from work, Big Apple Mini Storage, Patrick McInerney. He's in hospital, having a minor procedure taken care of, and I hope he's doing well. And I hope the medical science will straighten him out and send him back to work at Big Apple Mini Storage, which is a sister company of Liffey Van Lines. So for now, I'm going to end with the European national anthem and sign off in my native language and say Slán Awalia, Slán Gafol, now until I see you again. Be Kurma. Be careful. Slán.